Step out of the vehicle.
Officer, I feel safer staying inside. I'm not a threat.
I said step out, now.
Please don't open my door. I'm not resisting.
Door's coming open. Step out, ma'am.
Wait, okay.
Maya Johnson was driving her blue pickup truck toward a gas station on a bright afternoon. The sun was high, the sky was clear, and traffic moved slowly along the road. Maya had her window down and music playing low. Her gas light was on, and she just wanted to fill her tank and get back on the road. She turned into the gas station, eased toward a pump, and slowed down. Before she could park, flashing blue lights appeared behind her. A police car rolled in and stopped close to her truck. Maya's chest tightened. She sighed, then did exactly what she had been taught. She stopped the truck, turned off the engine, and placed both hands on the steering wheel where they could be seen. The patrol car sat right behind her, close enough that its dash cam faced her truck clearly. Before we continue, if stories like this matter to you, stories that show truth and bring justice, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hype it up in the comments, and share it with someone who needs to see it. Your support helps these stories reach more people. A white female officer stepped out of the patrol car. Her name was Deputy Allison Reed. She walked fast toward Maya's door, her face tight and serious. She didn't smile or greet Maya. She stopped close to the truck and looked inside. "Step out of the vehicle," Deputy Reed said. Maya stayed still. Her heart was beating fast, but her voice was calm. "Officer, can we talk right here? I feel safer staying inside my truck." Deputy Reed crossed her arms. "I said step out of the vehicle." Maya's hands stayed on the wheel. "Please, I didn't do anything wrong." People nearby started to look. A man pumping gas paused. A woman walking into the store stopped at the door. The sun was bright and everything was clearly visible, including the patrol car's dash cam recording every second from behind. Deputy Reed reached for the door handle. "Please don't open my door," Maya said, her voice shaking now. The officer pulled the door open hard. The sound was sharp and loud. Maya gasped as the door swung wide. Before she could unbuckle her seatbelt or move her legs, Deputy Reed grabbed her arm and yanked. Maya screamed, "Stop, please!" Her body twisted as she was pulled out of the truck. She lost her balance and fell to the ground, scraping her hands on the hot concrete. Her phone slid away from her. Tears filled her eyes. "I'm not resisting," Maya cried. "You pulled me out." Deputy Reed stood over her. "Stop resisting," she shouted. The dash cam behind them caught everything clearly. No threats, no weapons, no attack, just force. A second patrol car pulled in fast. Sergeant Daniel Brooks stepped out. He took one look at Maya on the ground, then at Deputy Reed, and then at the patrol car behind them. He walked straight to the dash cam and looked at the screen. "Reed," he said firmly, "step away from her." Deputy Reed froze. Sergeant Brooks knelt beside Maya. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" "My arm," Maya whispered. "She pulled me out." Sergeant Brooks stood up slowly. His face was serious and calm. He turned to Deputy Reed and held out his hand. "Give me your badge," he said. Deputy Reed's eyes widened. "You're kidding." "I watched the footage," he replied. "You're done right now." Right there in the open daylight at a busy gas station, Deputy Allison Reed lost her job as her dash cam kept recording, and Maya Johnson's life had just changed forever. Maya Johnson sat on the curb near the gas pumps, her arm throbbing and her hands still shaking. A store worker brought her a bottle of water, and she held it with both hands like it was the only thing keeping her steady. Sergeant Daniel Brooks stood a few feet away, speaking quietly into his radio. Deputy Allison Reed was off to the side, silent now, her badge no longer on her chest. People at the gas station whispered. Some stared, some recorded on their phones. Others just stood there, unsure of what to say. Maya felt exposed, like the whole world was looking at her pain. She kept asking herself one question. How did this happen so fast? Sergeant Brooks walked back over to her. "An ambulance is on the way. You didn't do anything wrong." Maya nodded, but her eyes were filled with tears. "I was just getting gas." "I know," he replied. Behind them, the patrol car's dashcam was still on. The small red light blinked without emotion, replaying the truth again and again. Sergeant Brooks had already watched it twice. There was no confusion, no missing piece. The camera showed Maya following orders, speaking calmly, and trying to stay safe. It also showed Deputy Reed opening the door and pulling her out without cause. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedic checked Maya's arm and wrist. "You've got a bad strain, maybe a bruise tomorrow." As they wrapped her arm, a third patrol car pulled up. This one carried Captain Laura Mitchell, the highest-ranking officer in the area that day. She stepped out and went straight to Sergeant Brooks. "What happened?" she asked. Brooks pointed toward the patrol car. "It's all on video." Captain Mitchell watched the footage right there, standing in the sun with cars passing behind her. Her face didn't change much, but her eyes hardened. "This is unacceptable," she said quietly. Deputy Reed stood stiff as Captain Mitchell approached her. "You were trained better than this. Turn in your equipment." Deputy Reed opened her mouth, then closed it. She slowly removed her radio, her cuffs, and finally her duty belt. Every click sounded loud. People nearby went silent. Maya watched it all. She didn't feel happy. She felt tired. A man who had been pumping gas earlier walked over. "Ma'am," to Maya, he said, "I saw everything. I'll be a witness if you need one." Another woman nodded. "Me too." Maya blinked, surprised. "Thank you," she whispered. Within hours, the dashcam footage was uploaded to the department system. By the evening, it had reached local news stations. By morning, it was everywhere. Phones buzzed, screens lit up. The video didn't shout, it didn't lie, it simply showed what happened. People across the state watched Maya stay calm. They watched the door open. They watched her get pulled out. And they were angry. The department released a short statement before noon. "Deputy Allison Reed has been terminated pending further investigation." Maya saw it on her phone while sitting at home with an ice pack on her arm. She read it 3 times before it felt real. Fired. Just like that. Her sister called first. "Maya, I saw the video." "I know," Maya said softly. "You okay?" "I will be." That night, Maya couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she felt the pull on her arm again. But mixed with the fear was something else. Relief. The truth had been seen. It couldn't be hidden. Outside, somewhere, the same dashcam footage kept playing on loop, speaking for Maya when her voice shook. And the story was far from over. By the next morning, Maya Johnson's face was everywhere. It was on phone screens, TVs, and computer monitors. The dashcam video had spread faster than anyone expected. News anchors paused the footage at the exact moment the door flew open. Commentators slowed it down so people could see Maya's hands still on the steering wheel. Maya sat on her couch with her arm wrapped in a brace. The TV was on, but the sound was low. Every time the video played, her stomach twisted. She wasn't famous. She didn't want to be. She was just a woman who needed gas. Reporters gathered outside the police department. Some held microphones. Others talked loudly into cameras. Signs appeared by noon. People stood on the sidewalk holding cardboard with simple words written in thick black marker. "Justice for Maya." Cars passed and honked in support. Inside the department, officers were tense. Phones rang nonstop. Emails flooded in. The chief ordered a full review, even though the video already told the story clearly. There was no running from it. Maya's phone buzzed again and again. Old friends checked in. Strangers sent messages of support. Some shared their own stories. Maya read a few, then had to stop. Her heart felt heavy. That afternoon, a lawyer named Thomas Green knocked on her door. He spoke softly and listened more than he talked. Maya told him everything, from the flashing lights to the moment she hit the ground. "You stayed calm," he said. "That matters." "I was scared," Maya replied. "That shows, too," he said gently, "and it's okay." Across town, Allison Reed sat alone in her apartment. Her uniform lay folded on the table. Her badge was gone. The video played on her phone, even though she kept telling herself not to watch it again. Each time it played, it felt worse. There was no sound she could turn off. The truth was loud. By evening, the mayor spoke on live television. "What we saw was wrong. We will not excuse it." The words were simple. They were enough. That night, Maya stood on her porch as neighbors dropped off food and notes. One little girl handed her a drawing of a blue truck and a bright sun. "You're brave," the little girl said. Maya smiled through tears. The video had done something powerful. It didn't argue, it didn't explain, it just showed. And because of that, the whole world saw what Maya already knew. She had done nothing wrong. 3 days after the gas station incident, Maya Johnson sat in a quiet room inside the county building. Sunlight came through a wide window, landing on a long wooden table. Her lawyer, Thomas Green, sat beside him with a folder open in front of him. Across the table were 2 officials from Internal Affairs and 1 city attorney. A small recorder sat between them, already on. Maya told her story again. This time, her voice didn't shake as much. She spoke slowly and clearly, choosing simple words. She explained how she asked to stay in her truck for safety. She explained how the door opened without warning. She explained the pain in her arm and the fear in her chest. No one interrupted her. When she finished, one of the investigators nodded. "The video supports everything you said." That mattered. Maya felt it in her bones. Outside the room, things were moving quickly. Deputy Allison Reed was officially charged with assault under state law. Her police powers were suspended. The badge she once wore would never be returned. For once, the system did not drag its feet. News of the charge spread fast. People talked about it at work, at school, and around dinner tables. Some were shocked. Others said it was long overdue. Maya didn't celebrate. She focused on healing. Her arm slowly improved, but her mind still jumped at loud sounds. Thomas helped her file a civil case. "It's not about money," Maya said. "I know. It's about accountability." At the police department, new rules were announced. Officers were reminded that drivers could ask to stay inside their vehicles. Training sessions were moved up. Dashcam reviews became mandatory. One officer whispered, "That camera saved us from lying to ourselves." Across town, Allison Reed stood before a judge. No uniform, no authority, just a woman answering for her choices. The judge looked down at her and spoke plainly. "Power is not permission." The courtroom was silent. Maya watched the hearing online from her living room. When it ended, she closed her laptop and took a deep breath. Something felt lighter. That night, Maya drove past the same gas station. She didn't stop. She just kept going, knowing the place no longer owned her fear. Justice had moved fast, and it wasn't finished yet. Weeks passed, and life slowly found a new rhythm for Maya Johnson. The bruises on her arm faded from dark purple to light yellow, then disappeared. But some mornings she still woke up tense, her heart racing for no clear reason. Healing, she learned, was not just about the body. It was about the mind, too. Maya started seeing a counselor. At first, she didn't want to talk much. She just sat and listened. But little by little, words came out. She talked about the fear she felt when the door opened. She talked about how small she felt on the ground. The counselor listened and reminded her that her feelings made sense. "You survived something scary," she said. "Your body remembers." At home, Maya made small changes. She kept her truck clean and calm. She practiced breathing before driving. She took new routes sometimes. Each trip felt like a test, but she passed more often than she failed. The community did not forget her. Church groups invited her to speak, but she chose her moments carefully. When she did talk, she kept it simple. "I asked for safety. I was punished for it." People nodded. They understood. One afternoon, a letter from the police department reached her. Inside was a formal apology signed by the chief. The words were careful, but they were real. The letter said the department failed her. It promised change. Maya held the paper for a long time. Across town, the case against Allison Reed moved forward. The former officer accepted a plea deal. She would not serve as law enforcement again. Her name would stay on record. There was no hiding from it. Maya did not attend the final hearing. She didn't need to. She already knew the truth had won. That evening, Maya stood on her kitchen jock cooking dinner. Music played softly. The sound no longer made her jump. She smiled to herself.
For the first time since the gas station, she felt something warm rise in her chest. Hope. By the time the town hall meeting was announced, Maya Johnson had already said no twice. She didn't want to stand in front of a crowd. She didn't want lights, microphones, or attention. What happened at the gas station was not a speech to her. It was a wound. Still, the messages kept coming. Parents, teachers, truck drivers, mothers, people who said they had never spoken up before, but Maya's story made them feel brave.
The meeting was held on a warm afternoon inside a large community center. Folding chairs filled the room. Some people stood along the walls. A banner hung above the stage that read, "Community Safety for All." Police officers sat in the back, quiet and stiff. City leaders sat in the front row. Maya sat near the side with her sister, her hands folded tight in her lap. Her heart beat fast. When her name was called, the room went quiet. Every sound felt loud, shoes shifting, a cough, a chair creaking. She stood slowly and walked to the microphone. "My name is Maya Johnson," she began. Her voice was soft but clear. "I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because what happened to me could happen to someone else." She told them about driving to the gas station in the daytime. She explained how she asked to stay in her truck for safety. She described the sound of the door opening and the shock of being pulled out. She did not shout. She did not cry. She spoke like someone telling the truth. "I wasn't fighting," she said. "I wasn't dangerous. I was just scared." People listened closely. Some nodded. Some wiped their eyes. Then Maya said something that changed the room. "The camera mattered," she said. "Without that dashcam, my word would not have been enough." The room stayed silent. She looked toward the officers in the back. "I don't hate police," she said. "I just want them to remember that power is heavy, and when you carry it, you can't drop it on people." When she finished, no one clapped at first. Then one person stood, then another. Soon the whole room was on its feet. The sound was not loud, it was steady, respectful. After the meeting, people lined up to talk to her. A young black man said, "Thank you. I never thought anyone would listen to us." A white mother held her hand. "My son drives alone. I think about this all the time." Even one officer approached her. He didn't give his name. "What you said today," he told her, "it matters." Outside, news vans waited, but Maya walked past them. She had said enough. That night, the city council voted to approve new rules. Officers would be required to explain clearly why someone needed to exit a vehicle. Dashcam reviews would be public within days, not months. Training on fear and bias would be expanded. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. Maya sat on her porch later, watching the sun sink low. She thought about the version of herself who just wanted gas that day. That woman didn't plan to speak for others, but life had placed something heavy in her hands, and instead of dropping it, she carried it forward. Months had passed since the day Maya Johnson drove into that gas station, but the memory no longer owned her. It still lived somewhere inside her, quiet now, like a scar that no longer hurt when touched. Life did not go back to the way it was before. It became something new. On a clear morning, Maya stood outside the county courthouse. She wasn't there for fear. She was there for closure. The final hearing in her civil case was scheduled that day. The steps were wide and bright, and people moved in and out like it was just another normal morning. For Maya, it meant more. Inside the courtroom, the judge read the agreement slowly. The county accepted full responsibility. They agreed to a settlement. They agreed to policy changes. And they agreed to release all dashcam footage within 48 hours for any use of force case. Maya listened quietly. When the judge asked if she understood, she answered clearly, "Yes, Your Honor."
Across the room, Allison Reed was not there. She did not need to be. Her part in the story was over. Her name no longer carried power. It carried consequence. When the hearing ended, Maya stepped outside and felt the sun on her face. Reporters waited, but she did not stop. She had learned that justice does not need a microphone. She drove home alone, hands steady on the wheel. Weeks later, Maya returned to the same gas station. It was midday again. The pumps were full. Cars came and went. She pulled up to the same spot, turned off the engine, and stepped out on her own terms. She stood there for a moment, breathing. Nothing happened. She filled her tank, paid inside, and left. That small moment mattered more than any headline. Over time, Maya noticed changes. Police cars sat farther back during stops. Officers spoke slower. Some even explained people's rights before asking questions. It wasn't everywhere. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Letters still came in. Some thanked her. Some said her story helped them speak up. Maya kept a box for those letters. On hard days, she opened it. One evening, the little girl who had once given her a drawing came by again. This time, the drawing showed a woman standing tall beside a blue truck, sun high above her. "That's you," the girl said proudly. Maya smiled. "That's all of us," she replied. Maya never called herself brave. She said she was careful. She said she was honest, but others knew the truth. Courage isn't loud. Sometimes it sits in a truck and asks to stay safe. The dashcam that caught the truth that day did more than record. It changed the story's ending. It made instant justice possible. It turned a moment of fear into a moment of accountability. And because of that, one officer lost her job. But more importantly, a system learned it was being watched. Maya Johnson kept living her life. She worked, she laughed, she drove. And every time she passed a gas station, she remembered not the pain, but the power of truth in the light of day.